How desire to make peace with Russia once led to the catastrophe in Ukraine. Yes, there was a moment when Ukrainians, through a fully democratic vote, chose the path that led their own loss of freedom. This moment is known as the Black Council of 1663, and it's a lesson that feels painfully relevant today. In the year of 1663, Ukraine was just lost its most important leader, Bogdan Khmelnytsky, the man who created the first Ukrainian states of the early modern era. After his death, Ukraine fractured. The country was divided both politically and geographically between two spheres of influence, Poland in the west and Russia in the east. Both empires wanted control. Ukraine was stuck between them. Moscow then demanded something unusual, to hold an election for the next Ukrainian leader, but this time not only among the elite. They wanted everyone to vote. In Ukrainian tradition, the head of the state was called hetman, a mix between a president, military commander and a national leader. Normally, only military elites choose a hetman, but Moscow insisted on a people's assembly where anyone could show up. Peasants, townspeople, poor laborers, not just the elite officers. For the first time, the masses were invited to decide the country's fate. That's why the event became known as the Black Council, because the enormous crowd was full of ordinary people wearing the dark, everyday clothing. And then came the choice. It was a classic battle between statehood and populism. Yakym Somko, who was part of educated elite, he believed Ukraine should stay independent from Moscow and wanted a strong, stable government. And Ivan Brykhovetsky, a pure populist who promised power to simple people, blamed the wealthy and the elites for everything, and openly leaned on a Moscow support. Brykhovetsky's campaign was political manipulation in its rawest form. He ordered hundreds of barrels of vodka to be rolled out to the crowd. People were kept drunk for days so they would vote emotionally, not rationally. He promised them the right to loot the homes of Ukrainian elite. Whatever the rich have will become yours. And of course, the vote happened under the intimidation. Some supporters were forced to disarm for peace, while Brykhovetsky people remained armed and surrounded the assembly. A democratic election happened under Russian guns. The drunk, angry crowd, pushed by promises of revenge and fairness, chose Brykhovetsky. Somko was executed on the spot. The crowd cheered, believing they had defeated injustice. But reality hit immediately. After winning, Brykhovetsky traveled straight to Moscow, the first Ukrainian leader to ever do so, to bow before the Tsar. There, he signed Baturin articles giving Moscow enormous control over Ukraine, and the consequences for the same ordinary people who voted for him were catastrophic. Russian garrisons occupied Ukrainian cities, taxes were redirected to Moscow treasury, and those simple people who thought they were voting for freedom, Moscow turned many of them into serfs, effectively slaves. Populism destroyed Ukrainians' autonomy. And that's why when Ukrainians choose simple solution in a conflict with Russia, they always pay the highest price. If you like to hear more Ukrainian stories, just follow the page.